Namaskar, welcome once again. We are the School of Social Sciences in the teleconference session for the Faculty of Library and Information Science. And as we had started in the first session, we are again in the first course, that is BLS 1, Library and Society. And now we'll be discussing the types of libraries and their functions. As we had discussed in the first session also, that libraries serve the society, and for serving the society, because they know that there are different kinds of users and therefore there are different user needs, the libraries have been divided into different types. And the broad groupings of libraries are the academic libraries, the special libraries, or which are also called research or business libraries, and the public libraries. So these are the different kinds of libraries. Why they have been differentiated? Because it would have been very difficult for a library to serve different kinds of different needs of different user groups. Therefore, to facilitate the working of library, these have been divided. Now, what are these different kinds of libraries? What are their functions? What are their services? Basically, the main services would remain the same, but how these have been adapted to serve the different kinds of users, how the professionals play their role in satisfying these different kinds of users, all these things we will be discussing in this particular session. And we will be discussing, and my dear colleague Mr. Sevukan is there to help you in this regard. I hand over the mic to Mr. Sevukan.
Thank you, Dr. Jaydeep Sharma. As he has mentioned, library is a place where the information is stored, processed and disseminated to the users. So we can start with a general definition that it is a place where information is collected, processed, stored and disseminated to the users according to their needs at the time and place required by them. So this library can be divided into four major categories, as he has mentioned just now. Depends upon the services, collections, categories of users. These are the four major categories. These are national libraries, academic libraries, special libraries and public libraries. So let us see one by one in the later sections. So what is National Library? The National Library is a library which is working for the government from the government fund. This can be defined as a library maintained out of government funds, serving the nation as a whole. The books which are in these libraries are for reference only. These libraries are usually copyright libraries. The function of such library is to collect and preserve for posterity the books, periodicals, newspapers and other documents like non-book materials such as CD-ROM, audio cassettes, VCD, microphones, microfilm and so on. So it purchases the documents which are published in the other countries also, which are of nation's information. So from the above definition, we can come to know that so it is a library working for the government and it is a library storing the only reference sources. That means the reference sources includes handbooks, bibliographies, national bibliographies. It is one of its major functions which we are going to see later on. So this is the basic definition about the National Library. Then we have to see about the objectives of these libraries. If you look at this particular slide, the objectives are to provide leadership among the nation's libraries and to serve as a permanent depository. As he has mentioned in the last session, it is a depository for all publications issued in the country. It is receiving the publications of all publishers through by law or exchange, and to acquire other types of materials. Just now I mentioned in the definition itself that it acquires other types of materials to provide bibliographical services of the documents which are having in its library as resources, to serve as a coordinating center for cooperative activities, and lastly to service to the government. So these are the main objectives of the national libraries. So we have defined what is national library, then the objectives of the national libraries, then the functions we have to describe. So based on these definition and objectives, to achieve these objectives, the national libraries have to perform certain functions, like to serve as a central and comprehensive collection of national output acquired through legal deposits, gifts or exchange, to acquire and maintain documents about the country or its people or activities published outside the country also, to collect and preserve select manuscripts and such other archival records of national relevance and importance, to collect and preserve specialized materials. The specialized materials could be books for the blind, dramatic compositions, engravings, medals, music compositions, etc., and to serve as a central and comprehensive collection of national output acquired through legal deposit, which I have already mentioned. If you go to the next slide, the functions include to disseminate catalogs in print, in the form of catalog, print and non-print also, like microforms, machine readable forms, like computer readable catalogs, opaque, web opaque, these things, to provide compilation of retrospective or current bibliographies on various subjects in anticipation or on request. Then to provide index to currently published journals, literature appearing in research or scholarly periodicals, to prepare abstracts of current literature on subjects of national interest, and finally to prepare national bibliographies of books, periodicals and other non-print materials. So these are the functions which are performed by the national libraries in general. So see, it is accumulating the documents from all the publishers, stores it and produces bibliographies and performing so many functions. So we have to ultimately make the resources which are in the national libraries available for use to the ultimate users. So this can be done only through offering some services. So let's see what are the services offered by the library. So generally, as this is the first facility is reading. As I have already mentioned to you, these resources are meant for only reference. So we have to provide the facility for reading the resources or materials and for consultation also, and to offer reference, bibliographic and information services. Bibliography services include database services also, whatever they are developing the database or for any other computer readable forms which are available with them have to be provided for the users for their access. Then interlibrary loan, it is overheard everywhere. So on the basis of interlibrary loan, if some books are not available in a particular library, that can be borrowed and made available for the users from other libraries. So this is interlibrary loan service. Then reprographic service. Reprographic service, this is one of the important services offered by the libraries, generally irrespective of types of libraries. You can see everywhere these services. It includes photocopying, microfilming, and some other services also with this. Then to serve as a referral center. Referral center means it helps the users who are seeking for the information in case of the particular document which is sought by the user is not available. Just he guides the particular user to go to some other libraries or the information centers where the information or the document is available. So this is a referral service. So these are the services offered by the national libraries in general. So we have discussed about the services and functions of these libraries. Now let us say some
future generations. That is a very important activity, and it also coordinates the efforts of the other libraries at the national level. The National Library is also there to see that at the international level, whatever is available regarding the country. When we say regarding the country, it means by the people of the country, on the country, for the country, anything that is there that is acquired by the National Library. So it has a very important role to play in that it collects everything that relates to the country, within the country as well as abroad. And that is why for within the country they have made provisions that there is a Delivery of Books Act, in which any book that is published within the country, it has to be deposited in the National Library. So this legally it comes to the library, and otherwise also from the for other countries, whatever is published on the country, it is acquired by a national library. Every country has a national library, and not only one national library. Now we have national libraries based on subject and discipline also, like he was referring to the National Science Library, and we have named such libraries, some such libraries as National Library, but there are some other libraries that act as National Library. Like for the fine arts, we can give an example of the library of the Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, which is in New Delhi. We can say it is like a national library for fine arts. Similarly, we can say National Library for Agriculture. There is no such library that has been designated like that. But when we say Indian Council of Agricultural Research Library, it has a comprehensive collection on agriculture, and we could take it as a National Library for Agriculture. So
functions includes compilation of bibliography, which is called Indian National Bibliography by Central Reference Library, Calcutta. So this can be an important tool for the librarians to select the books for their libraries and information centers. So these are the things about the national libraries which I wanted to share with you. Then we can go ahead of academic libraries. So academic libraries. Education is a process of learning with the aim to collect, to acquire capabilities in all the people. So the libraries of academic include school, college and university libraries. So these libraries play an important role in acquiring the knowledge by the students or say users. So academic libraries include, as I told you just now, school libraries, college libraries and university libraries. Now let's take the school library first. The school libraries can be further divided into 4 categories. You might all know that primary, middle, secondary and higher secondary. So these are all collectively called schools and the users are called students. So, primary school is having the users age of 5 to 10 years. Middle school has the users of at the age from 5 to 13. Secondary school up to 15 and higher secondary up to 17. So at the primary and middle level, this is the age for the children to form their attitudes and habits which will be permanent in their future for their self-equipment or learning and to compete with the competitive world. So this is the school library. These are the users. So for these types of children or users, what these kinds of libraries doing for their motivation or self-development or inculcating the reading habits among the children. So school libraries should have certain objectives to fulfill their needs. So this is the very basic level, the librarians should be very much responsible to meet their challenges in fulfilling the needs of the users. So for this, the libraries should aim to foster book-mindedness. We have to motivate the students to increase or to motivate themselves for reading habits, which will lead to book-mindedness. And the second thing is to strengthen learning skills through kits, that means audio visual kits, which are plentifully available nowadays. Then to create a love for books and other learning resources. So we should not force the learners, just we have to create a situation where they can adapt easily to acquaint or to